Hello, thank you for joining me for another video. This will be a short video, and it will be a video on Peter Yan and his illegal knee. So, there's been a lot of talk about what happened this weekend in UFC 259 when Peter Yan in the fourth round kneed Aljamain Sterling while he was Aljamain was grounded. Grounded is a technical term here, which means he had a limb touching the floor. Okay, one of his hands, one of his two hands touching the floor. Uh, okay, let's. What I'm going to say is I'm not going to talk about the rules within UFC. Mighty Mouse commented and said what happened, what disqualified Peter Yan should be legal. And there's an argument for that, but that's not what this video is about. This video is more about my opinion on who's to blame here, right? Because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's the coroner, they told him to do that, they told him to do the knee. Oh, it's, Peter Yan's fault, obviously. Some people are even saying, well, the fight should have continued. It was obvious Aljamain was acting. All this talk. And Aljamain is also taking some, let's say, what do we call it? Taking some heat from this situation. I understand where it's coming from. But my opinion here is this situation is completely, exclusively, 100% Peter Yan's fault. No one else's. All right. At the end of the day, that was his decision to throw a power knee at that time. Okay. Whether he was listening to his corner, whether he was under the impression that the guy was not grounded, he still threw that knee and he was still wrong. Right. So there was some videos on YouTube that I saw of the corner moments before the knee. And you do hear Peter Yan asking about kicking the opponent in Russian. That's what I heard at least. I mean, it's not the best audio, but you hear non-English words shouted out, and there's a subtitle that says "kicks?" question mark. And first off, if someone's asking in Russian the word kicks, question mark, quick kicks, what about kicks in Russian? He's talking to whoever's in his corner who can speak Russian. All right. So I'm not sure who speaks Russian within his corner, but anyone who doesn't speak Russian, obviously is not involved in this conversation. He is talking to whoever he speaks to in Russian in his corner. The weird thing is there was a response of a word that didn't really sound like a yes or a yeah or a ye, whatever. It sounded like a yeah, yeah. I try to find the video. I'll link it in the description of this video. Actually, make it easier. But it didn't sound like a clear acknowledgement to his Russian question. And it's strange. Why would someone respond in English? Isn't da the da? Like that's Russian for yes, right? Or something. I'm sure it's not ya or yes or whatever, right? Um, so that's it. I mean, when I saw that video, I'm like, okay, this doesn't look like that. Like, I mean, if it's not clearly obvious that someone said Neem, knee, like I don't think the you could really point at the corner and say that they're responsible in any way for what happened. It's really, I mean, think about it. I'm the kind of guy like whenever I see situations, I like to imagine what would I do there, and fuck, man. If I held that gold, that championship gold, dude, I would know every single thing that could disqualify me. And in a fight, I would know it by heart and meditate on it and make sure that I'm smart enough and sharp enough not to make those petty mistakes that can cost me something so valuable, right? And you could think about other scenarios in life. There's so many where complacency, something so simple, doing such a simple mistake can cost you very dearly. That's what happened here. It's a very simple situation of a champion making a grave mistake. Um, and look, man, that's his fault. It's fucked up. It's stupid. But the only person at fault here is Peter Yan. No one else. Now, Aljamain, I just want to address one thing about Aljamain and his acting and his Oscar win or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I can agree. I'm not going to say I think he was acting, but I can agree that there's a high possibility that at some point while he was recovering from the knee, it seemed like he was, you know, suffering longer than one typically does. And dude, listen, I've taken knees, not that, as hard as that in the temple. No, never taken a knee there. And I'd imagine that's a very devastating shot. Okay, so maybe he wasn't acting. Maybe he was really dazed and fucked up, and trying to maybe he was dizzy and trying to you know, get normal, and it just wasn't happening. Or he could have been an opportunist, right? And said, if and realized, if I don't continue here, I could be the champion. I don't have to do anything else except roll around here and make this look even worse than it is. Okay, that's not admirable, certainly, but Peter Yan gave him the opportunity to do that. And as an intelligent combat athlete, you would be expected to do exactly what Aljamain did, which is to take the opportunity and bring home the gold, right? Can you blame the guy? I can't. I would have done the exact same thing, maybe put on an even more convincing show, to be honest. Um, but it's not to say that there was obviously an opportunity for Aljamain to do something legendary that people would talk about for years and years, which is to shrug it off, the illegal knee, stand up, tell the ref I'm ready to go, and beat the shit out of Jan. And if he did that, if he refused the opportunity to become champion through disqualification and beat Jan, that would have been a legendary um, fight, victory that would have been, talked about for many years to come. Um, but he didn't take that opportunity, and obviously that's a big risk, right? Because if he did get up, Jan could have easily, or not easily, but had an equal chance of winning that fight. I would say, maybe even a bigger chance because he was, in my opinion, slightly leading at that point. Uh, so he didn't take the opportunity to do a legendary thing, but he did the smart thing, the safe thing. Okay, he didn't do what we would have all enjoyed and loved for to see as fans, but it is what it is. He is champion. Okay, he faced a former champion who was dumb enough to do something that would cost him his belt. One action. Okay, and the only question I have is to the intelligence and the championship level intelligence that Peter should have had. This kind of thing. there should be no remote possibility of it happening as a champion, in my opinion. Like I would have a list taped into my in the front of my desk, in my refrigerator, everywhere. I'd have several lists. I'll have it copied and put all over my house of the things I cannot do, or the things that if I do them would lose me the championship automatically because I can't afford that. That's how I would do. That's how I think. But I don't know how Peter Yan thinks. Um, but yeah, too bad for him. And congratulations to Aljamain. The one last thing I want to say is a lot of people feel like Peter Yan is entitled to a rematch here. Um, if he lost by decision or knockout and it was a good fight, sure, you would be entitled. But dude, you fucked up big time. What makes you think you're entitled to a championship? And his fans as well. It's like, I get it, yeah. He could have won that fight if he didn't fuck up so bad, but he didn't. All right. And that doesn't really earn you that kind of like, oh man, if it was a split decision victory and freaking Aljamain took the gold, then yes, absolutely do a rematch right away. That's not what happened here. So I don't agree with the urgency for Jan to have a rematch. I feel like he should maybe fight a couple people and, prove like he has his head in the right place. Give him some time to like figure, the rules out first or something. I don't know, man. Put the guy through some focus school or some shit. Like get his focus up. Who knows? That's his job, right? That's his job. But whatever caused him to make such a big mistake needs to be addressed. And I'm not interested in seeing a rematch. I'd like to see maybe Sanhagen go against Aljamain. That would be a great fight, a rematch. I feel like Sanhagen didn't really have the opportunity to fight and show his skills in that fight, but and Sanhagen's gonna he's at the top of his game right now. So we're gonna see if we do see that fight. It's gonna be great. But yeah, that's how I feel about the knee. Again, it's all Peter Yan's fault. So sorry to the Peter Yan fans who see this. Um, but yeah, it is what it is, man. Let's move on. Thank you to my listeners and people who watch my content. I'm going to continue posting this stuff. I post, like you probably already know, but if you're new here, I post videos about combat sports. I post also videos about my sort of journey into becoming a MMA fighter, which I'm, yeah, very deep into right now. So yeah, all great content here. That's it. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope you have a nice day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Bye bye.